My name's Taps, this is 0102 Studio, and this is a bit of a revisit of the Q Acoustics 3020i. So a bit of a disclaimer off the top. I originally did this review for Home Theater Secrets back in 2019, and I did get to hang on to these speakers free of charge, which is, to be honest, kind of a bonus. I really like the speakers. So there's the whole review. Revisiting this review is something that I wanted to do for a while. Not only does it make great content and is an extra video I can throw on the channel, but my opinions have changed slightly regarding this speaker, and some by circumstance. At the time, they retailed for $299 a pair US. I think subsequently, with everything going up in price, they're now $449. But everything is more expensive, so yeah, you know, that's the price of things now. Actually, here, you know what, before I even start this, let's just take this whole grill off. It looks way better without the grill. My first outing with Q Acoustics was the 3020i. It's their largest floor stander. I think it's the only floor stander in the 3000 range. I really love that speaker. I was totally blown over by its performance. And so I jumped at the chance to review this speaker then. The 3020i at the time was the largest bookshelf speaker from the 3000i lineup. Curiously, while doing this review at the time, I wondered why they didn't have a larger bookshelf that featured the same larger driver from the 3050i. And then subsequently, later on, Q Acoustics released the 3030i, which sits over there behind me, which, again, I adore as well, for different reasons. This is a beautiful, compact bookshelf speaker. Full stop. Like, Q Acoustics makes great-looking speakers. They sent over the speaker here finished in Arctic white. It's also available in carbon, black, walnut, and graphite? Graphite. So gray, black, and walnut. All in all, the 3020i's are super cute. I love the rounded corners. I like the matte finish of them. The drivers pop out nicely from the housing, and it's white. And to be honest, most of my home, except for this room here, is white. And white speakers match really well within the space, especially if they're finished nicely, which these are, so I love them. I mean, design-wise, they are super cute. I love everything about them. I like the way the drivers pop out from the cabinet itself. I like the chrome bezels. I love that it says high-frequency decoupler on the upper tweeter. It's just a nice little touch. The Q Acoustic badge on the bottom is shiny as well. It's just altogether a really nice speaker. The Q Acoustics also come with, at the bottom here, pre-installed rubber feet, which makes them really easy to just kind of dump on your shelf. You don't have to install anything. It also has this here, which I believe is for a mounting bracket, so you can mount them on a wall. But I mean, I gotta be honest, like, they're not, like, even though they are fairly diminutive in size, they're fairly hefty. So I'm not handy enough to like want to hang this speaker onto a wall mount. It's fairly hefty in size. The 3010i has the same thing, and Q Acoustics actually makes a really slim wall bracket thingy to mount these onto a wall. I don't trust myself enough to do it, but you can. I just haven't. This is a two-way bass reflex design. Up top, you have a 0.9-inch tweeter and a 5-inch bass driver. The overall size, I mean, you can see it's fairly small, and I have tiny hands, so, I mean, you can see it's fairly small. It sits about 6.7 inches wide, 10.9 inches high, and just over 11 inches in overall cabinet depth. They're fairly deep speakers, actually. Let me show you. They're actually fairly deep speakers. They're about as deep as they are high. The added cabinet depth adds for greater bass response from the overall speaker, better sound stage, all those things. Deeper cabinets equals good. The 3020i also features P2P point-to-point bracing, which makes the new enclosures more rigid and improves the focus of the stereo image. Frequency response is 64 Hz to 30 kHz, and sensitivity is quoted at 88 decibels, which makes them fairly easy to drive. When I originally set these up, I connected them to my Cambridge Audio CXA60 on either side of our fireplace TV's built-in that we did, which was deep enough to accommodate big speakers. They replaced the Monitor Audio RX2 that I had in place there. And oddly enough, those speakers are way bigger. They have like an 8-inch driver, a taller cabinet, but these are actually the same depth. I think I have a picture that I'll put up here right now. My wife seemed to like the smaller size of the Q Acoustics, as they didn't dominate the shelf space with the overall aesthetic of the room. Once I did set them up, I was really impressed by what I heard. I hate that trope of these punch way beyond their weight. I guess that's like they're small speakers, so they sound bigger, and they do sound good. They don't scale the same as like an RX2, and comparatively, this one versus the 3020i that's behind me, they are a smaller soundstage. And when I did the review, this is kind of where I let the reviewer in me kind of like undersell these speakers. They're small bookshelf speakers, and at the time, I didn't really like small bookshelf speakers. I always thought bigger is better, and I'm wrong in that assessment. Like, they are really good. They're really clear. They do, yeah, they oh my God, I'm gonna say it. They do punch above their weight. But if you know that you're buying a speaker that has a deep cabinet but smaller drivers, you know that you're not gonna get like, you know, that scene in Back to the Future where like Marty, that's his name, Marty turns on the speaker system, strums his guitar, and the big speakers fire him to the back wall. No, you're not gonna get that, but you're gonna get adequately good sound. What changed, in my opinion, from that review to now? Well, chiefly among them was, in my review, I remarked that the smaller driver on the 3020i does make for a smaller scale of sound, and that if you're going to buy these speakers, you should probably have them in a smaller room, so you're not trying to fill a large room with these speakers, because they're just not made for that. And while a bit of that does ring true, I haven't been doing that with these speakers. Since they have left them, and now I've had them for going on 3 years, I've had them in our new house in our larger living room, and I've belabored this point about how much I hate one part of that living room. It's we have a big built-in fireplace in that room, and when the people that designed that built-in made it, they essentially wired it up for 7.1 sound, which is awesome, and then they built the built-in around it, and the built-in doesn't accommodate bigger speakers. Like this speaker, I think the shelves are about 10 inches deep, and this speaker is edge to edge. And thank God that these speakers, actually, here's one big selling point of this speaker, I probably should have mentioned this, is on the back of this speaker, you have really low profile binding posts and a bass port on this. And now you could plug the bass port. I don't. I never do. I mean, you could, but I don't. But the low profile speaker posts are a boon for when you have a shelf that doesn't have enough space for these speakers. Like, that's amazing. Yeah, these are the only speakers that would ever fit on that shelf. And that room, I think it's like 15 by 20. Like, it's a really big family room. And I have these paired with their matching center channel, which I did purchase, the 3090Ci. It has matching drivers and tweeter for this. It's a smaller overall speaker. I've been using those three speakers to power that TV and home theater sort of setup for the last year, and I'm not really left wanting for any more. Like, would I like to have bigger speakers in there? I have tried the 3030i's, and it just looks stupid. It sticks out about 2 inches from the cabinet. It almost touches the shelf above it. It looks just dumb. And so this is the speaker that fits within there. It sounds great. It makes everything sound good. Do I get enough of a room-filling sound from them? Not really, but that's also because I have them paired with a really crappy receiver. Sorry, Sony. It's the Sony 790 STR or STR 790. It's like a $500 receiver. It was the only one that I could find that would fit within that shelf space that's allotted for it. It sits right next to the center channel. and I get appropriately good sound from that receiver, these speakers, and the center channel in that room. All that being said, these speakers fill a big room, no problem. I have no complaints. I don't even have a subwoofer hooked up in that space because we have a new bulldog puppy and he eats everything on the ground, and I don't want the dog to eat that subwoofer, so I don't have that hooked up yet. These aren't revealing speakers by any stretch. If you're looking for an audiophile first speaker where you're looking to extract every detail and the frequency response is amazing and there's like seemingly no ceiling to the highs, these aren't the speakers for you. And if you're looking for a small speaker that does all of that, then you're gonna have to spend quite a bit more. I believe the KEF LS50 Meta is that speaker. If you're looking for a small speaker that's super revealing and you could pair with higher end equipment, you could pair these with high end equipment and low end equipment and have an equally great result. This speaker is priced at $449 US. It was previously priced at $299, but that was before the pandemic and all electronics prices going up. Even at this higher price, it's still a bit of a bargain. It's a great looking speaker. It's a great sounding speaker. I feel like it's still good value for your money.